We welcome you to the Bay Area as the Astros continue this 8-game road trip. This is city number 3 after taking 2 out of 3 in Seattle and 2 out of 3 in the City of Angels. They now head north up the coast to the San Francisco Bay Area to take on the Giants from AT&T Park. It will be a quick 2-game series. Hi, everybody. Welcome to a night of Astros baseball. I'm Todd Callis alongside Jeff Blum. And Blummer, while it's been a good road trip so far, it has not been without some mishaps as the Astros are really struggling in the health department.
Yeah, the Astros are getting tested right now. We're seeing some of that depth that they do have in the organization. It has been a good road trip up to this point. 2 more to finish this thing off here up north.
Unfortunately, a lot of players have headed from Los Angeles to Houston to get looked at because of injuries, and a lot of them are all-stars as the Astros are missing some key pieces.
Yeah, it's not good when they go home before we do. We're still out on this road trip, but now you see Altuve, Correa, and Springer on that HEB list and how much they bring to the offense. They are important factors in the middle part of that order. They are going to miss them greatly, but right now it's up to those guys in the middle part of the order that are going to step up, be the role players to fill the gap. But it gives you an idea of how important it is for these guys to get back to Houston, figure out what's wrong, and get healthy and get back on the field.
You've got those guys, you got Brian McCann, the whole middle of the Astros defense, but here they are with the exact same record they had last year. The difference is the competition's a little bit better.
It is a little bit better, and you can see that gap between first and second is a little bit different. Oakland jumping into the mix, 4 games back, but it's great for the Houston Astros because I think that they're going to enjoy the challenge. It's going to be a tough stretch. We're seeing some of the injuries, but the one thing that has been a constant for the Astros so far, given that Lance McCullers is on the DL, is that the pitching has been fantastic.
Speaking of pitching, our pitching performance is powered by Kubota. Astros pitching last year compared to this year, that's the big difference when you separate these two teams.
Absolutely, and the health of that rotation. We talked about Lance going on the DL, but the other 4 guys have been fantastic, and actually we've seen this bullpen on this road trip stepping up, but it's amazing that there's a 136-run difference between last year and this year.
AT&T Park, the site of tonight's game, one of the more unique ballparks in Major League Baseball. When we come back, Julia Morales and Jeff Blum will have a little more on this beautiful ballpark.
Haven't been to AT&T Park in a few seasons. It's good to be back. It's a beautiful ballpark. It's our Toyota Get Out and Play. Home to the San Francisco Giants since 2000. Might need a winter jacket as well, but the views are beautiful of the Bay Area. And I'm going to bring you out to right field right now. Jeff Blum joining me, who has some experience playing here. I'm still new to this ballpark. I learn something every time. So here we are with you to tell us a little bit more about this ballpark. You talked about Dodger Stadium. There were some quirks there. What are some of the unique features of this park?
Well, there's a reason we're standing out here in right field. This is the funkiest part of this ballpark. There is a short right field porch. It looks appealing to that left-handed hitter's eye at 309 feet, but this is one of the hardest ballparks to hit it out of. And then all of a sudden you have over our shoulder out in the corner what they call Triples Alley. If you're fortunate enough to drive one out there into the deepest part of this ballpark at 421 feet, you have to drive it to get it out, but at the same time, if it stays in play, you better get on your horse because it usually lends itself to extra base hits, namely that triple, and that's why they named it Triples Alley.
Yeah, for sure. It's a hard ballpark to hit a home run in. Pitcher's Park, obviously. Why is that?
It's because the way the engineers set this ballpark up, before they built it, they actually did a lot of wind studies and figured out that they can have a short porch and plant this stadium right here in the China Basin next to the bay because the winds were blowing in, but they allowed them to put a 309-foot fence here in order to fit this stadium down here, and it lends itself to a lot of hard hit balls that don't get out. Barry Bonds is one of the few guys that actually have the power to drive it out of here and hit it in there. But you need wind, you need some heat, and that doesn't happen too often here at night.
For sure. 35 splash hits for Barry Bonds out of 78 total for the Giants, so he could get it out quickly as a hitter. Does your approach change?
It does initially. If you don't come through here very often, your first approach is that they're going to pitch me away because left field or right field is so close. So when you come in here, you immediately think outside corner, they start busting you in, and then you realize that even when you do get a hold of one, it doesn't get out. That's why they're pitching you in there, because sometimes it can lend itself to some long fly ball outs.
Interesting stuff. All right, that'll give you something to look for in this quick two-game series. Thank you so much, Blummer. He'll be back with Todd Callis and more. We're hoping to see the offense get going here, though, to finish the road trip strong. Take another series win. We'll be back with more.
Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. By Arctic. Overbuilt, not overpriced. And by Buick. Visit your local Buick dealer. Since the All-Star break, Charlie Morton has been very good. This will be his third consecutive start on the road. Pitch at Colorado, 6 innings of 1-run baseball. Then in Seattle, 6 innings of 2-run baseball. Tonight, he'll go against the San Francisco Giants in the opener of a 2-game series. Charlie continues to be one of the best pitchers in the American League. Top 7 in ERA, top 7 in strikeouts, and top 5 in opponents' batting average against.
Road for these Astros, who've been such a good road team. They have been challenged here lately. A list of injuries for this club to some of their key players. We're looking for guys to continue to step up, and we've seen that with several guys on this road trip. Marwin Gonzalez, Tony Kemp. These guys have even taken the ball out of the ballpark, hitting home runs. But here in a pitcher's park, may have to find a way to manufacture runs maybe a little differently, just due to the circumstances with this ballpark. But if you look at how they've been scoring recently, it has been via the home run. 19 of their last 31 runs scored by homers. And like I mentioned, a couple of those guys are guys who have stepped up here lately, helping them to 2 series wins on this road trip so far. But could be interesting tonight, guys, how they find a way to score runs, especially with a little bit of a different lineup too, but with guys who are very good at getting on base, like Tony Kemp right at the top of the lineup. Alex Bregman has done a nice job all season long. AJ Hinch is not worried about it. TK?
All right, Julia, you're right. There is going to be a test of the resiliency on this team, and without the big bats in there, other guys are going to get opportunities and may end up providing a little spark for this team until they come back.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's what they always talk about as far as the depth in this organization, is having these guys step up. This is a unique opportunity because we made such a big deal in spring training and how this roster is set. And you're going to have, the only way you're going to get in there is with some injuries. And unfortunately, there are some injuries right now, but with those injuries creates opportunity.
So what does the new look lineup look like? Here it is, the Astros starting lineup presented by Southwest Airlines. Tony Kemp will bat in the leadoff spot with Alex Bregman moving up to 2. Josh Reddick hits 3rd. AJ separating his lefties at the top. Yuli Gurriel bats in a cleanup position. Marwin Gonzalez at second base. Tyler White at first. Martin Maldonado behind the plate. Jake Marisnik in center, and Charlie Morton bats ninth.
On the mound for the San Francisco Giants is Derek Rodriguez. The last name is familiar because his dad is Pudge Rodriguez. 12 games this season, 10 starts for Derek. He has a 5-1 record, and he's starting to garner some Rookie of the Year attention with those numbers he's putting up, namely that 2.59 ERA.
He has been really good lately for the Giants. Starts off tonight with a strike to Tony Kemp.
He is heavy on the fastball. Over 50% of the time he is going to bring that fastball, averaging 92 miles an hour. But he does have the potential to reach back, touch 94 if he needs it.
Kemp, who hit a home run in that series in LA, sends one to right field. Looks like the wind is blowing out a little bit to right tonight as that ball carried a little bit on Andrew McCutchen for the first out. Here's the defense for the Giants with McCutchen in right field. Steven Duggar is in center. Gorkys Hernandez in left. Brandon Crawford and Evan Longoria on the left side of the infield. Joe Panik and Austin Slater on the right side. Buster Posey back behind the dish after playing first base yesterday. Buster had a little scare with a concussion situation, but he has cleared all tests and he is back behind the dish for Derek Rodriguez. Here's Alex Bregman. Saw you and Julie out there in the right field corner. Seems like that first fly ball by Kemp would have been in medium right. It ended up almost on the warning track.
Yeah, I got pushed towards that foul line, didn't it? But this is unique. That's where you're going to see Andrew McCutchen playing more towards that right center field gap here.
Called strike on Bregman. Pretty good idea with Alex in there. He likes to go gap to gap. He has pulled a lot of baseballs this year, but also able to drive the ball to right center field with authority. There's a ball towards right, and it's going to fall in front of McCutchen for a base hit. Alex Bregman on base again on a road game. He has now been on base in 35 consecutive road games.
Just a little inside out. Normally we see him get the head out on this one, but on our MD Anderson strike zone, you're going to see the location and where he puts this pitch. Tied him up a little bit, but fought it off nicely. Maybe that second or third AB, we'll see that head get out a little bit more, and maybe clip that out in front and try and challenge the elements here.
Overall, Bregman has been on base 66 of the last 68 games, home and road, as Josh Reddick takes a called strike. Reddick's been on a nice run here over his last 5 games, batting .333, has that average sitting at .253 as we start play tonight. Josh takes a pitch upstairs for ball 1. 26-year-old Derek Rodriguez. The long flowing hair, very different to his dad, who we see on the Rangers pre and post game shows now. Ivan Pudge Rodriguez may be watching back in the state of Texas as his son faces the Houston Astros. Bregman on the move, and Reddick fouls one out of play. Astros 4-2 on this road trip. 4-game winning streak in between the opening loss to the Mariners and last night's or yesterday afternoon's loss to the Dodgers. Reddick stays alive, 1-2. Astros have the unusual point in their schedule where they have a series here in San Francisco to wrap up this road trip. Alex seems to be pleased with that pickoff attempt. Then they head home for a week and they're right back here in the Bay Area. So they will play consecutive road games against the Giants and the A's, separated by a week. Giants here on a Monday and Tuesday, and next Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Oakland.
Yeah, they're going to start charging his rent. Spend enough time in California, they'll tax you somehow.
Yeah, they will. Swing and a miss. Rodriguez gets Reddick for the first strikeout of the night. Josh is the second out.
Looked like that might have been a slider. Says he has a cutter. Velocity dropping down to 84 with good depth in it, bailing out of the zone.
Here's Yuli.
Let's check it out on Mattress Firm Supermo. Yep, slider. See him getting on the side of it, creating that spin, but created a little more of a downward break than that traditional down and into left-hander to left-handed hitters.
Yuli takes a strike. Quinn Wolcott behind the plate, calling balls and strikes. Yuli at 289, did not start the game yesterday.
StatCast AI brought to you by AWS. Shows you Yuli's spray chart. Like that, a good cluster up the middle, a couple going the other way, but up the middle to that left center field gap for Yuli.
There's a ball hit hard, and as we showed you, he does hit the ball up the middle of the line, and right there would show panic for the Giants for the final out. One man left on base. Their top three hitters have been really hot. Andrew McCutchen, Buster Posey, Evan Longoria have been on a roll lately. Brandon Crawford not so much in that cleanup spot. He was red hot last time the Astros saw him. Austin Slater is at first base. Joe Panik, the second baseman. Steven Duggar in center. Gorky Hernandez in left, and Derek Rodriguez, the pitcher.
Charlie Morton going for the Houston Astros. 21 starts this season. He has the league leading. He is leading the league in winning percentage with that 12-2 record, 159 strikeouts, a very good opponent batting average at 208. Very good on the road also with that 4-1 record.
Charlie making his third consecutive start on the road and gets a called strike to start this one. Charlie has always pitched well against the Giants in his career. First time he's pitched against this team as a member of the Astros. And he's quickly ahead of McCutchen, 0-2. Andrew McCutchen, 6 for his last 7. had a 5-for-5 game on Saturday, including a home run. Followed that up with a 1-for-2 game yesterday. Charlie tries to get him to chase the breaking ball, but he doesn't. It's 1-2. Last time we saw this Giants team, McCutchen was struggling, Longoria was struggling. Some of the new additions were not getting the job done for the Giants, but lately those guys have really been hitting well, and they came off a road trip in which they won the road trip, and they have not been playing great baseball on the road all year long. 9 games under 500 on the road despite the winning road trip. After getting ahead 0-2, Morton has tried to entice McCutchen on a chase and not been successful. Oh, 2 to a walk. McCutchen takes 4 straight out of the zone.
Our Best in Texas Power Pitcher is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Charlie Morton in wins this season. When he is good, he is extremely good. 13 starts, 12-0 record, 1.78 ERA. What's amazing in those last 2 numbers in those categories, the opponent batting average at 165. That is tough to do to big league lineups. And in those 13 starts, he has 104 strikeouts. Remarkable numbers, and a lot of it has to do with the command for Charlie Morton. When he starts to get wild and walk guys, hit batters, that's usually when the damage incurs. But if he's able to work out of some traffic on the base paths, it usually ends up pretty good for Charlie.
Charlie with a 1-0 count on Buster Posey. A couple of All-Stars. Posey didn't play in the All-Star game, but Charlie did. He's behind 2-0, and after throwing 2 strikes on the first 2 pitches of this game, Charlie has now missed on 6 in a row. Beautiful night here in San Francisco. Might get a little cool by the end of the evening. JMI usually starts off strong at game time, but dips down as we move along. 62 degrees at game time.
Oh yeah, that sun goes down, the wind creeps up.
JMI, for those uninitiated Astros viewers, the Julian Morales Index. Always in play when we're here in the Bay Area.
Did you say it might get cold?
Or is it?
And it's not cold already?
I said the JMI drops dramatically as the game goes along.
It's starting off freezing down here. That's why.
The index is freezing at 62. There goes the runner, grounded foul at the plate. The threshold for freezing is now 62.
Wow, we got to really adjust that index.
Well, if you think about it, you take a girl from Texas on August, what's today, 6th?
Yep.
It's supposed to be at least 95 degrees.
You have the entire Houston Astros team store on.
So they feel so bad for me. They've already, I'm not sure whose sweater I'm wearing right now, but Joe Smith, I think, brought the jacket. I've got coffee. They're looking at me shivering over here. They can't handle it. They got to help.
2 pitches grounded to the left side. Ewing to second for 1. Marr with a quick turn and a double play. Just like that for Charlie Morton after walking the first batter and falling behind 2-0. He is able to get that ground ball for 2.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about Charlie Morton is he still goes out there and does a very good job of getting ground balls. We talk about the strikeouts for Charlie Morton have gone up in the last 2 years since he's put that Astro uniform on, but it's a luxury also to be able to get that ground ball. And Yuli looking right at home at third base again, moving across the diamond. That was a nice turn.
So 2 outs, base is empty. Here's Evan Longoria. Longoria with the game-winning home run in yesterday's game on the road. Hit a home run to straightaway center field against the Diamondbacks' Archie Bradley in the 8th inning for a 3-2 Giants win. Longoria this time into center field where Jake Marisnick is there, and Jake will put it away for the final out of the inning. We are headed to the second, scoreless.
It's on Twitter. Make sure you're following at ATT Sportsnet SW. Astros have the same exact record as they did through the first 113 games last year, so they're 71-42. How do they finish in 2018? Are they the same? Do they get 101 wins, or do they have more? Or do they have less? We will tell you which one wins later in the broadcast. Guys, Derek Rodriguez, this is who the Astros will try to beat today to take a lead in this series. And AJ said before the game that he's got a vibe to him. This is what he knows about Derek. They don't know much, and this team doesn't know much, obviously not faced him, but they know that he's got that charisma. So once he starts feeling good, he'll have that as well. Also elevates the fastball. They're just going to have to control the zone like they've been doing a better job of here lately. Also, though, being Pudge's son, AJ said, we're starting to see that with guys in my generation. Their kids are starting to work their way up in the rankings, or playing in the minors. Not too many in the big leagues yet, but at the end, he did toss in that he stole a base off Pudge Rodriguez. No one even asked, but he did tell us that. So allegedly, he stole a base off Pudge.
Allegedly.
I like that she dropped allegedly on AJ.
She's not buying.
I haven't confirmed it yet, so. My favorite part is that nobody asked. He just threw that in the answer. So I felt like I needed to share.
We will look it up, but I'm going to trust it.
He's going to be the trail runner on a double steal. That's how he got it. That's my call.
Marwin with a base hit the other way. He's a leadoff runner for the Astros in the second. Here's Tyler White. White takes inside for ball one. Marwin hit the ball hard the other way at 103 miles an hour. Tyler coming in with a .269 batting average, 3 home runs, 5 runs batted in. And Julia's right. This is a kid who will live up in the zone a little bit. Gets a lot of fly ball outs, but also gets a lot of strikeouts up in the zone. And he really establishes that fastball the first time through the lineup. And not many hitters have been able to barrel him up.
Yeah, that's what makes it interesting about Marwin getting that base hit the other way at 103 miles an hour. Yuli's ground ball was 106.2 off the bat.
Tyler takes a strike. It's 1-1. Couple of singles early on for the Astros. Alex Bregman and Marwin Gonzalez both going the other way against Derek Rodriguez, a 26-year-old right-hander.
Some experience with the JMI. Just spend an extra $200
for a jacket on top of the jacket. Sounds like something Julie would do.
One of them didn't look happy to have the Giants logo on.
I was going to say that. My Giants gear. That's tough.
Yeah, no, Julie would not buy Giants gear.
No. Just turn it inside out.
Ooh.
That might mean the warm part is on the outside.
It is perhaps the best ballpark in baseball, depending on who you ask. AJ Hinch would vote for this one. I think they would get a lot of votes at AT&T Park.
Yeah, it's a good sideline for us. It's a good ballpark for the fans. I mean, the way they built this thing, every fan has a great view, and they're right on top of the game.
White fouls one away.
I forgot how beautiful the views were. You guys have a good one up there.
Oh yeah.
We don't get here enough. We're gonna be on a flight in like 24 hours. I wish we had a 3-game series here. 1-2 pitch. Tyler tried to hold up, but he goes around. Sean Barber, the first base umpire, said he went too far. And White goes down for the second strikeout, first out of the inning.
Big 12-6 curveball from Derek Rodriguez.
Derek will face Martin Maldonado, who snapped an 0 for 34 on Saturday with a couple of doubles in that game against the Dodgers. Rodriguez misses outside for ball one. Maldonado slowly working through the entire rotation, catching Charlie Morton tonight. Still has not caught Garrett Cole. AJ says that will happen shortly. Martin takes a pitch for a ball. It's 2-0. During this run with Derek Rodriguez in his last half dozen starts with an ERA just above 1.5, he's at 1.60. He has walked a few batters. He's walked 2 or more in 5 of those 6 starts. On the ground towards Crawford. Nice backhand play for 1, and they turn the double play on Maldonado. Astros lead the majors in hitting into double plays, and that's how this inning ends. Weekend presented by Houston Methodist. Events include a Springer replica rainbow jersey giveaway, a Carlos Beltran 2004 playoff bobblehead giveaway, and a pregame Legends home run derby. For tickets and info, visit astros.com/legends. Blummer participating in that derby coming up this weekend. Not a lot of days left for you to get in your rounds of BP, as we've been on the road for the last 8 days.
No, I've just been throwing massive plates around these hotel gyms, intimidating people. Yeah, I need to get my swing going here once we get back home. Rumor has it Bish has been underneath in the tunnel, sneaking in a couple of hacks.
You would expect Craig Biggio to be prepared.
Oh man, yeah. I wonder if he's going to bring out one of those logs that he used to swing with the 30 rolls of tape around the handle. If he's going to have the pine tar all the way up and the TV tape on.
In the left center, Jake Marisnick calls off Tony Kemp and puts it away. Brandon Crawford retired for the first out.
As you enjoy a cold one, look forward to Miller Lite. Hold true moment later in tonight's game.
Cool if you could take BP here and hit one in the cove.
That would be cool. It's a good feeling. Splash down. 78 splash hits. Barry Bonds with that home run record tally.
Yeah, 78 for the Giants, and one of those for the visitors belongs to a guy in the Astros dugout. He's not active right now. Brian McCann has one. Got one of those splash downs with the Braves. Here's a ball into center field. Marisnick comes in. Austin Slater is retired for the second out. 3 fly ball outs for Ground Chuck in a row. When is that derby? I know it's this week.
Sunday the 12th.
Sunday?
Yep. It'll be, man, I'm not exactly sure about the time, but I know it's kind of in that BP area around noon, so I'm going to have to get some hacks in and get in the booth. I may smell that day, Todd. Just warning you.
That'll be.
Can I call the game in my uni?
Ooh, why not?
That'd be awesome.
Why not? I don't see any reason why you shouldn't.
Just really bring the funk to the booth.
Speaking of legends, we'll have Chet Bagwell in the booth Saturday.
That's right.
It's a full weekend. Blummer with the home run derby Sunday, 3-man booth on Saturday. Joe Panik, the batter, with a count of 0-2. Panik has been on the DL a couple of times this year. Injured his left thumb, also a left groin strain, and since coming off the DL with the groin injury, he's 1 for his last 11, but 2 for his last 28, going back to before the DL stint. He has missed 48 games this year due to those 2 DL stints. He missed over a month with the thumb injury, but it's different than the thumb injury that has put George Springer on the DL. He had to have surgery, did Panik. The good news for George is it seems like it's just a thumb sprain, no UCL injury. And hopefully we'll see George back very shortly, if not at that 10-day mark.
No, that was some very positive news.
George going back to Houston to get reevaluated. We'll have more on some injury updates throughout the game with Julia as Charlie Morton picks up a 1-2-3 second.
Seth Beer in high A, hitting .360 with 3 home runs. And on the other side, how about Fran Beer Valdez? His record is 2-1, but that ERA hardly noticeable at .40. 37 strikeouts for him and an opponent batting average of 165. Congratulations to those guys. Hopefully future Astros.
I'm suddenly thirsty.
Yeah, me too. I'll be right back. Oh, that's in Oakland. Sorry. Wrong ballpark.
You're allowed to vacate whenever you want.
Don't tempt me.
It's
man.
all part of Astros After Dark.
That is true.
The rules and regulations change a little bit when we're out on the West Coast. Jake Marisnick leads things off, followed by Charlie Morton in the top of the order, Tony Kemp. A couple of singles for the Astros in this game, but no one has reached second base. Jake has that average up, even though it doesn't seem like it's up. It's a 206, and he's had to battle to get it back up there. He's been really good lately. Not only this time around since coming back from AAA Fresno, but before that last demotion. Jake over his last 14 starts, batting .333 with 4 home runs. Takes a strike on the outside edge. It's 2-2. Rodriguez has been very steady lately. His last 6 starts plus a bullpen appearance has not allowed more than 2 runs as he gets Jake chasing there. Rodriguez picks up his 3rd strikeout. He has 1 in every inning.
Did a good job working that outside corner on Jake Marisnick. 2-0 cut fastball. set up the following fastball to get him to 2 strikes. Eventually putting him away with the 12-6 curveball.
Charlie started 3 games on the road this year at a National League stadium. So he is batting for the 3rd time this year. He went 1 for 2 in his start against Arizona on the 5th of May. Went 0 for 2 in his most recent start on July 25th against the Rockies, and now facing a tough right-hander in Derek Rodriguez. Charlie doesn't really view himself as much of a hitter, doesn't take a whole lot of BP. Feels like it would be an exercise in futility. He's very humble about the way he pitches, so you can imagine what his thoughts are and his hitting ability.
Hey.
Stays alive. Adds a pitch to Rodriguez total.
I thought for sure he was going to ask for the baseball.
Rodriguez has shown him some respect with a few breaking balls and actually strikes him out on something with a wrinkle there as Charlie goes down for the 4th strikeout.
Yeah, the scouting report says cut fastball, but it sometimes has a little bit of a reaction of that slider, and there you see it at 12%. The curveball at 16. He likes that changeup, but he is going to be heavy on that fastball, trying to locate on that outside corner. We've seen a little bit of that arm side run to that pitch. That changeup has been effective against left-handed hitters.
Now facing Tony Kemp, who flied out to right his first time up. Charlie's career, he struck out more than half of his at-bats with that last strikeout. 1-1 the count. With George Springer going on the DL, may see Tony Kemp at the top of the lineup a little bit more. Even when Springer was healthy, I saw Kemp lead off a game against the Mariners on this road trip. Foul at the plate. Kemp stays alive. Tony got the Astros back to within a run in yesterday's game with his 4th home run of the year. Astros scoring 2 runs in that game against LA. The George Springer first pitch of the game bombed to center field at 452 feet, and then Kemp connected over the right field wall against his college buddy Walker Buehler.
There it is. Like a slider down, he got up underneath it, launched it high in the air, just didn't want to come down until it was over the fence.
Just missed the edge. It's 2-2.
Pitcher's pitch, but off the plate just a hair. Good take by Tony Kemp.
Kemp drives one to right field. This will be a base hit, and one hops off the wall. Played there by McCutchen, and Kemp into second base with a 2-out double.
Another off-speed pitch catching the middle part of the plate that Tony turns on. It's actually a pretty good play by McCutchen to get over there quick enough to keep Tony at second base, because he was playing him in that right center field gap that we talked about, because it's so shallow here in right field in San Francisco. 309 down that line. Got a favorable kick too. It's very similar to left center field in Minute Maid Park with those arches and some of the padding and railing out there.
Oh, here's Alex Bregman batting with a runner in scoring position.
Some of those dimensions we talked about, Julie and I were hanging out near that 309 mark. That 421 spot is a very deep part of this ballpark, but a lot of line drives will find their way out there and end up being triples. Tough ballpark to leave, not so much because of the dimensions, but because of the elements that are involved. A lot of cool evenings here in San Francisco, the wind shifting. There it looks like the flags are blowing out. That can change in a moment. Not like Candlestick, though. Candlestick was one of the craziest places I've ever played. Man.
Not many people miss Candlestick.
Nope. And the wind is just one of the reasons. But very similar as far as this. I remember going to a couple games at Candlestick, and it was thermal underwear, long sleeve t-shirt, pullover hoodie, Letterman's jacket, beanie for a game in the middle of August.
In the middle of August. That's the kicker. It can be freezing at any time in the baseball calendar. See Alex's numbers with runners in scoring position. Good for 4th in the American League, 8th overall in the major leagues. Called third strike, outside corner. Alex didn't like the call by Quinn Wolcott, but he is a strikeout victim. 3 strikeouts in the 3rd for Rodriguez. That's it. Years ago, Charlie Morton will relive the last out of the World Series, and Mike Stanton will execute the perfect pickoff move. All that and more on Astros Bases Loaded after this game, only on AT&T Sportsnet. Thanks for staying up with us on our Astros After Dark. This is our final night game of this road trip, day game tomorrow. They start them on the quarter hour here in San Fran, so today was quarter after. Tomorrow will be locally a 12:45 start, so 2:45 Central Time. Steven Duggar will lead things off, bottom third of the order for the Giants, and Charlie Morton delivers a strike. Charlie so far walked the leadoff batter and then retired the next 5, including a double play in that mix, so he has faced the minimum. And he's ahead of Duggar, 0-2. Duggar, a 24-year-old, was limited last year due to a couple of injuries, an elbow injury and a hamstring injury, played in just 44 games. And he's a guy who hit his first home run on Saturday, and they have a lot of high hopes for this 24-year-old out of Clemson. Called third strike. Charlie catches the edge on the breaking ball and freezes Duggar for his second strikeout.
Pretty filthy pitch from Charlie Morton. A couple of pitches in the same spot and then just back doors at 80 miles an hour. That was beautifully done.
We always rave about Max Stassi's framing behind the plate. Maldonado very comfortable early on in his Astros career. He was crossed up a little bit in that start with Justin Verlander, but when he has the right pitch coming that he's expecting, he frames them up pretty well.
No, that's what I felt the same way. Todd did a better job of explaining it than I was thinking in my head, but the way he sat back there and really just made himself small and received that pitch, I think really helped Charlie get that call. That was a great pitch.
Yuli, backhand stab, retiring Gorkis Hernandez for out number 2. That's probably the hardest hit ball of the night for the Giants, but speared by Yuli.
Hot corner. I think really helped Charlie get that call. That was a great pitch.
Kind of like you.
I think I know that voice.
Here is Derek Rodriguez, opposing pitcher, 1 for 18 in his young hitting career. Has struck out in half of his at-bats. Now we know Pudge couldn't help Derek too much as a pitcher. I wonder how much Pudge has helped out Derek as a hitter over the years.
Yeah, he should be able to swing the bat a little bit. I just think it's interesting that Pudge, being a catcher his entire career, raised a pitcher. It's a pretty good battery.
Inside is 2-1. I would think, since Derek Rodriguez was not afraid to throw Charlie Morton some off-speed pitches in that Morton at bat, that Charlie would not be afraid to return the favor in this AB. Sticks with the fastball there. It's 2-2. Charlie has faced the Giants 12 previous times in his career and has a good ERA against this team of 2.59 coming in. Called third strike. Charlie picks up his third strikeout, a 1-2-3 third, and we head to the 4th inning, still scoreless.
Park, last game for the Astros, or last series I should say, in a National League ballpark this season. And when I asked AJ Hinch, this is the 2nd series in a row that they've played a National League team in a National League ballpark. He said, we're starting to feel like a National League ball club, but more than anything, he feels bad for Evan Gattis, who hasn't been able to get in there too much with that National League lineup. But offensively, we talked about it earlier in the show, they were hoping to get something going. They may have to play a little more small ball, especially in this particular ballpark. But definitely a unique stretch for this ball club to have back-to-back National League. Heads up over here. Yeah, whatever I was saying. It just went right over my head, y'all. Oh. I tried to talk through it. It's difficult when you're ducking. TK.
You're good?
I'm good.
All right. Just want to make sure.
She needs hazard pay at some of these places.
Just laid out over here.
By the way, Julia, we are talking to the manager next half inning. So I want to warn you ahead of time. I may have to drop in what you said about him.
Okay. Well, I've got my catcher's mask now.
The alleged comment. Stolen base. AJ Hinch will join us for the bottom half of the fourth inning for a couple of questions. You weren't with us earlier, Julia mentioning that Derek Rodriguez, his father Pudge Rodriguez, the Hall of Fame catcher, once had a base stolen on him by AJ Hinch. Julia followed that up with allegedly. Ooh, everybody in the dugout is worried about you tonight.
Everyone. Thanks to Javier Bracamonte.
That's a good look. That's a good look for you right there.
Thank you. I feel much safer, I'll tell you that.
Now, how long is it warm?
Is it warm? It actually is.
Will you keep that on? Will you keep that on now?
It keeps my chin and cheek toasty. I'm like, what do I do with the mic? How do I do this?
We can hear you.
That's good.
You're like Ricky Bobby. What do I do with my hands?
I just have a new level of comfort, though, with this thing on.
Yuli into left field. Barely well hit, but Gorkys Hernandez in front of the track. Puts it away for out number 2. Things getting loose early tonight on our Astros After Dark show. 2 outs, nobody on. I'll bring up Marwin Gonzalez. Marwin with one of the 3 hits for the Astros, a couple of singles and a double. Bregman a single, Marwin a single, and Tony Kemp a double. Unfortunately, they've all been spread out 1 inning at a time.
We spent a lot of time talking about the quirks of this ballpark. One of the quirks is that the bullpen is fairly non-existent. The only thing that's down there is a couple of pitching rubbers, home plates, but there's no place for the bullpen to hang out. So they hang out in the dugout here. That's why Javier Bracamonte is down there handing out equipment, thankfully, to Julia Morales. But a very unique setup here at AT&T Park.
Yeah, I'm not sure that happens anywhere else, right? That's the only place where you don't have a bullpen area.
Well, the only other place I remember it happening was in Montreal. Montreal was very similar to this, where the dugouts and the bullpen were very close together, so everybody was slammed into one dugout. If you didn't like pitchers, you'd have to hang with them for about 3 games.
Are you insinuating something?
No.
I love those guys.
They're great.
1-1 pitch into center field, pretty well hit, but Duggar on the move gets there to his left for the out. And a 1-2-3 inning for Derek Rodriguez in the 4th. We're still scoreless. Spotlight falls on A.J. Hinch, who joins us this half inning. A.J. Derek Rodriguez pitching, and we heard from Julia a while ago, who said, you stole a base against his dad, Pudge, but then she dropped in allegedly.
Well,
so did it happen?
I think it happened. You know how much better you get the further you get away from playing? I think you get faster as well, but I do remember a head-first slide in Oakland. With Pudge behind the plate, he may or may not throw, and it still goes down to a stolen base. So, I mean, it is what it is. I was pretty fast back in the day.
You've got a great mentality, and you tell great stories. How are you keeping this ball club going with some of the injuries you've got down there?
Yeah, it's just a reality. I mean, I think you have to deal with this stuff head on. Like, it doesn't get any easier or any better until these guys get healthy, right? So it's deal with it directly. This is an opportunity for some of these guys that have been up and down between AAA and the big leagues to get some at-bats and make a push to get a little bit more playing time even when the big boys are back.
Some good stuff from Charlie early. AJ, thanks for the time.
Thanks, AJ.
Take care.
Charlie working so well, he picked up an out during that interview, getting a ground out of Andrew McCutcheon. And here's a pop-up into shallow right. Marwin Gonzalez back there, and he puts it away. Kind of an unusual style to that catch, but it all works for out number 2.
Now that's Ed Wynn messing with that baseball up there. You talked about it pushing things towards that right field corner, and I think that's what happened to Marwin. He was backpedaling and had to reach way over his head.
Marwin, after that catch, dropped a little grass like a golfer, checking the wind.
Yep.
Here's Evan Longoria. So 2 quick outs for Charlie Morton in this inning. Charlie needed just 33 pitches through the first 3. And he has picked up 2 outs on 3 pitches in this inning, facing Evan Longoria, who flied to center. And he knew Longoria, the veteran, would probably be in take mode here. Give Derek Rodriguez a little bit of a breather in between innings. It's 0-1. Charlie quickly ahead, 0-2. Longoria's hit well since coming back from the DL. Evan missed a little more than a month with a broken bone in his hand after being hit by a pitch in Miami. This one into right field. On comes Reddick, still coming, and he will not get there. Longoria with a little flare hit to right. That's the first hit of the night by the Giants.
Great curveball down just off the end of the bat of Longoria. Reddick doing everything he can to try and preserve the game for Charlie Morton, but just drops it in front of him.
Well placed, not very well hit. And the Giants have their first hit. Here's Brandon Crawford. Swing and a miss. The other thing watching that replay, because Marwin was closing in on him, I'm not sure if Josh felt comfortable in the full-out dive.
With Marwin coming at him, too.
Not knowing exactly where Marwin was going to be headed, so he kind of went to that slide and couldn't quite come up with that little flare. Brandon Crawford, all-star this year. Shared the all-star spotlight with his brother-in-law Garrett Cole, who pitched in yesterday's game. Those two enjoyed their time in Washington, D.C. Last time they were all-stars together, they were on the same team, this side opposing sides. Crawford missing the breaking ball. That's nothing new for Charlie Morton facing left-handers.
Still doing a very good job of holding left-handed hitters down this season. Coming into this game, 205 was the average against Charlie Morton. A lot of that due to that curveball.
.49% whiff rate on the curveball. 49.
That's high.
1 out of every 2 Uncle Charlie's from Charlie is swung on and missed. That one was contacted but fouled out of play.
And over the last 2 seasons, Charlie has held left-handed hitters to a 188 average. That's 94 hits and 462 at-bats.
Another crazy part about that is that he used to get raked by lefties.
Well, it was a sinker slider guy.
Right.
And now it's CFM. It's different.
Age 33 and 34 seasons, he has become his best version of Charlie Morton. That one down and in on Crawford. It's 2-2. Charlie got Brandon Crawford to fly out to left his first time up. Only Kyle Gibson has a higher whiff rate on the curveball than Charlie. Charlie with 3 strikeouts tonight and 162 on the season.
Good pitch.
Just missed the inside corner. It's 3-2.
I would imagine that newly acquired Ryan Presley from the Minnesota Twins, the whiff rate on his curveball has got to be pretty high too. He has looked good in his last couple of outings for the Astros.
A lot of those numbers are for starters that have qualified. I'm sure Presley has a pretty high number too. Yeah, Presley looked really good in 2 innings yesterday. AJ happy to save some other arms in that bullpen and gave his team an opportunity to win when Presley threw 2 innings and allowed just a 2-out single to Cody Bellinger of the 7 batters he faced. Inside, ball 4. Runner Longoria was on the move, and so with that, Maldonado vacated the plate to make sure Longoria didn't think about going to third. First and second now with 2 outs. Second walk issued by Charlie. Now he'll face Austin Slater. Slater flied out to center field his first time up. Yesterday, Garrett Cole with 8 strikeouts. Pushed his season total to 202. That matches his career best. Lance McCullers Jr. already with a career best in strikeouts prior to going on the DL. And now Charlie, who set his career high in strikeouts last year with 163. Just 1 away from matching that total this year. And he's done so in fewer innings. Last year, 163 strikeouts at 146 and 2/3 innings. This year, he's sitting at 127 innings, trying to match his strikeout total from last year. Last year, 10 strikeouts per 9 innings for Charlie, by far his best in his career. And even with that mark last year, that only pushed his career strikeouts per 9 to 6.86. He was way down on the strikeout list before becoming an Astro. And now he's a strikeout machine.
Well, his numbers as an Astro are remarkable. Signed a 2-year deal with the Astros. And in the last 2 years, he has gone 26-9 with a 3.29 and currently has 325 strikeouts. That's not the Charlie Morton everybody thought the Astros picked up.
No. Ground ball towards third. Yuli will tag Evan Longoria for the final out of the inning. So Charlie allows a 2-out base hit and a walk and gets through the 4th scoreless.
attendance will get a Carlos Beltran 2004 playoff bobblehead presented by Houston Methodist. For tickets and info, visit astros.com/promotions. TK?
All right, Julia, Carlos Beltran, another one of those guys who has hit McCovey Cove, hit one into the bay here in San Francisco. Beltran did his for his 300th career home run. We head to the 5th inning. 4 hits combined through 4. The Astros own 3 of them. The Giants just picked up their first against Charlie Morton. And here's Tyler White. Tyler struck out swinging his first time up. Derek Rodriguez, the rookie right-hander, has been excellent for the Giants as advertised. Rodriguez coming in with that stealth ERA of 2.59. It seems like he is growing in confidence with each start. Tyler does not chase the breaking ball. It's 2-1. So far 3 hits for the Astros. No walks issued by Rodriguez. He has struck out 5. Tyler fouls one out of play. It's 2-2.
Yeah, Rodriguez not really a strikeout guy. Coming into this game, only 54 strikeouts. Pitching to contact. We already talked about the low barrel rate against him. Good job with that fastball and that cut fastball to keep hitters off balance, but we've seen a really good curveball from him today too.
Call 3rd strike. Tyler White goes down looking. That's now 6 for Rodriguez and 1 out in the 5th. What a postseason that was for Carlos Beltran in 2004.
Yeah, that postseason was incredible. That OPS 1,500. 6 stolen bases to go with all the power he was driving. It was amazing.
21 runs in a dozen games. Remarkable. Maldonado. Martin fouls one down the left field side. Martin grounded into a double play his first time up. Double play number 107 by Astros hitters this year. No other major league team has grounded into as many as 100 double plays. Rodriguez ahead of the count, 0-2. Popped up beyond first base. The first baseman Slater doesn't see it, and now he drops it. He didn't see it, he saw it, and then he dropped it.
New life for Maldonado. Young first baseman Slater for the San Francisco Giants, and this is where some of that bullpen area comes into play. You could see him looking for it there, drifting, and as soon as he had to drift and make that quick adjustment, you could see the eyes not able to pick it up until too late. And when you panic, those hands get firm.
See if Maldonado can take advantage of that drop, although it was not an error charge to Slater. Speared on one hop. What a pick by Brandon Crawford. That is smooth at the shortstop position by Crawford for the second out.
Yeah, he's a Gold Glover. He's an all-star, and that was a heck of a pick. Maldonado making a bid for a knock, and he got robbed. Hit well off the bat of Maldonado, 95 miles an hour, but a heck of a job on that short hop. Got to get a little help from your friends sometimes. Derek appreciative of it. Knew he had plenty of time too.
Jake Marisnik with an 0-1 count. Jake takes a pitch outside for ball one. Jake struck out swinging his first time up. One of 6 strikeouts for Rodriguez, who has a major league high of 7. That occurred in his last start against the Padres on the road. Goes his highest pitch count of his young career, 112 pitches in that start. Had only thrown more than 100 pitches in one other start this year. Foul at the plate. It's 2-2. A couple of years ago, back in 3 years ago now, 2015, the Giants converted Derek Rodriguez from a reliever to a starter. Started out his career in the bullpen in the minor leagues. Jake into center field. That'll send Duggar back and towards his left, and Duggar gets there to make the catch. Duggar covers a lot of ground out there and retires the opposing center fielder.
Jake Marisnik out in center field for the Houston Astros tonight, and that's usually where he is making some fantastic plays. 25 of 25 on 1 to 4 star catches this season. That means that he is covering a lot of ground, making some leaping grabs, picking up his pitching staff. It's been remarkable to see him go out there and do that. He's been good over the years, but I really feel this season he is getting some great reads, great jumps. This was yesterday. Chris Taylor making a bid for a home run out there at Chavez Ravine, but Jake Wood was having no part of it.
Fair ball down the right field line on the first pitch to Joe Panik, and he's going to have himself extra bases. Charlie Morton, who allowed his first hit in the last inning, allows a double here to Panik to start the fifth.
Ambushed Charlie early and got the head out.
Here's Steven Duggar. Tugger has struck out looking and has won at bat.
6 for 17 on the season with runners in scoring position. Giants have their first scoring threat early in an inning. They came up with 2 runners last inning with 2 outs.
Charlie gets a called strike. Going back to those Marisnick defensive numbers, nobody in baseball, if you follow along on MLB StatCast, Baseball Savant, nobody has 100% catch rating like Jake Marisnick on 1 to 4 star plays with that many attempts. Here's a ball to left field. Tony Kemp will drift back and get there. He puts it away for out number 1. Even on those plays, Jake goes all the way over to left just in case.
No, he's always been fundamentally sound too. He's always backing guys up, helping, hollering at them, saying fence, 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 letting them know where they're at. Kind of the captain of the outfield out there in center field.
Here's Gorkys Hernandez. Hernandez lined out to Yuli Gurriel his first time up.
Another thing about Jake running over there to Tony Kemp, who's keeping his eye on that baseball, is he can't see what's going on in the infield. And Jake probably running over there informing him that he's not tagging up and make sure he makes that catch. Just some of those little things that are going on the field where communication is a big key. Tony's pretty much on his own on this one, though.
There's a called strike. It's 1-1. This is a part of the lineup for the National League with the pitcher due up next when you play National League style baseball, where Charlie knows with a runner in scoring position facing the 8-hitter, that 8-hitter might expand at times. Well, it can't expand there as Charlie busts him in. It's 2-1.
Because you're really trying to set up a run somehow and not thinking your pitcher, who is 1 for 19 in his career with 10 strikeouts, is going to necessarily drive the run in.
Yeah, it's a tough responsibility of the guy who hits in that 8th spot in the National League with the pitcher behind him. Kind of goes against every sabermetric thought you have about getting on base.
Right. Doesn't get the call. Now it's 3-1.
I'm not sure if Gorkys Hernandez laid off that or just didn't know what to do with it. It was a great pitch.
It looked pretty close to a strike. And Charlie doesn't get the call on that one either. It's inside, ball 4. That's
3 walks now issued by Morton. And the Giants with 2 runners on with 1 out.
4 was close. How about 5? Nope.
Runners at first and second, pitcher up, bunt play will be on. Might be a little bit of a communication between Maldonado and Charlie Morton about how they want to attack Derek Rodriguez in this bunt situation. I would expect Tyler White, who doesn't have to hold on the runner at first base, to be crashing. Tyler over here probably going to be sprinting in pretty quick.
Pitch away for a ball. It's 1-0.
Tough task right now for the runner on second base as well, Joe Panik.
It is, and that's why you want to bunt the ball towards third base and force Yuli to come in. But I've played with first basemen and Lance Berkman and Jeff Bagwell, who would absolutely crash. And I knew that at third base, where I knew if they were crashing well enough, I could hold my ground, and they would come across in front of the pitcher and make the play.
Yuli held his ground that time on the pitch that's a called strike. It's 1-1.
With Bregman holding the runner panic at second, he's trying to get the biggest secondary lead possible, but Maldonado can pick behind him. There's a bunt down. Charlie will have to make the play to first. Successful sacrifice by Derek Rodriguez. Well, he does his job moving the runners along.
It's a great bunt. Derek Rodriguez just deadened it right out in front of home plate. The only guy who could make a play on it was Charlie, but a great read by Yuli, getting back to the bag just in case.
So now second and third with 2 outs, and Andrew McCutchen the batter. Charlie and Andrew played on the same team for a number of years with the Pirates, have never faced each other prior to tonight.
Yuli at the top of your screen, seeing that ball bunted back to the pitcher, covers third just in case he gets a throw.
Charlie's first season with the Pirates was also the same year that Andrew McCutchen came up, 2009. So they were teammates from 2009 all the way through 2015 before Charlie spent 2016 with the Phillies. Shortened season with that injury. Only made 4 starts with Philadelphia.
Yeah, maybe Charlie just needed to get out of Pennsylvania to start throwing hard.
2-0 pitch, swing and a miss. It's 2-1. That's where Charlie could be nasty. Hitters count 2-0. McCutchen expecting a fastball. He hits .346 against the fastball, 6th best in all of baseball, and Charlie able to get that 2-0 pitch past him.
San Francisco Giants actually hit 94 plus pretty well.
Called strike, it's 2-2.
But when you create, you know, that 2-seam run that Charlie naturally has, and then you have this 4-seam fastball that we see right here, just powered in the bottom part of the zone. That's what makes it tough. It's not a normal 94 plus miles an hour when you're dotting corners or down in the zone.
Swing and a miss. Charlie gets his former teammate, and he gets him with heat, striking him out on the fastball. Buy Rooms to Go, where you get the lowest prices every day and delivery is fast and easy. And by Nissan, innovation that excites. Exciting way for that bottom half of the 5th inning to end. As Charlie Morton down to the count 2-0 with runners on second and third, powered 3 fastballs past Andrew McCutchen. Got his former teammate swinging to end that inning. Now Charlie gets to lead off and takes a called strike. Charlie struck out his first time up, one of 6 strikeouts for Rodriguez, who drops the hook in on Charlie. It's 0-2. And Charlie goes down swinging on 3 pitches. That matches the career high in strikeouts for Derek Rodriguez with 7. The Power Player is presented by TXU. Tony Kemp against the Giants this year had quite a game.
Yeah, 5 RBIs is quite a game, I'd say so. Spraying the baseball all over the field, but you also got to give some credit to the guys in front of him. Tony hitting in that 9 spot, and a lot of guys in front of him getting on base, but coming up with some clutch hits and having a career day.
Tony with an extra base hit his last time up. He has the only extra base hit against Rodriguez. Tony doubled to the wall in right field. Has that batting average sitting at 290 now as he lines one to first. Slater is there. Puts it away for out number 2.
Join the Astros Saturday, September 29th for the annual Badges and Bases H-Town Rundown presented by Chenier. This family-friendly 5K and 10K benefits the Astros Foundation and the Houston Police Department. To register, visit astros.com/run.
This game has a similar feel to the first game of this road trip, or first game of the Dodger series at least. First game of this National League swing when the Astros were hooked up with Justin Verlander facing Alex Wood, and there really weren't a whole lot of scoring opportunities. Maybe even fewer opportunities today with both teams combining for 5 hits so far. Rodriguez has sent down the last 9 as he's up and into Bregman. It's 2-0. Alex has 1 of the 3 hits, a single to right. He's also struck out. Strike is 2-2. Into center field. Duggar is there. Bregman retired. Another 1-2-3 inning, 3 in a row for Derek Rodriguez. Market regular season game plus a free subscription to At Bat Premium for $59.99. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv to take advantage of this special offer.
Go ahead and bring that big old bowl of garlic fries up here.
Look pretty good. One of the specialties here at AT&T Park. Julia has tonight and tomorrow afternoon a day game. Both games televised to find those garlic fries.
It's not exactly.
Follow your nose.
Yeah, you smell them all the way onto the field.
Here is Buster Posey leading off the 6th inning. Charlie Morton and Derek Rodriguez hooked it up in a good one tonight. Charlie 2 hits allowed. He has walked 3. Derek Rodriguez 3 hits allowed. He has not walked anybody. Charlie challenged his former teammate Andrew McCutcheon with 2 on and 2 outs in the 5th inning and struck him out on 3 straight fastballs after being down in the count 2-0. Here's a called strike on Posey. It's 2-2. Buster back in 2012 was the batting champion, MVP, and his team won the World Series. That sounds familiar. He and Jose Altuve, the only 2 to do so in the last 51 seasons. Buster Posey goes down looking at that pitch by Charlie Morton. And that's 5 strikeouts for Charlie.
But it's fastball again. He is just locking these guys up with the heat.
With that strikeout bloomer, that's a new career high. Charlie Morton.
Way to go, Charlie.
So Charlie a career high. McCullers a career high. Cole has tied his career high. The strikeout machine, the staff.
Justin Verlander tied in game high, career game high with 14 against the Dodgers.
You're right. Game highs have been set all year long.
It's been unbelievable.
Cole shattered his. Yeah. He had 11 a couple of times with the Pirates, and now he's up to 16 with the Astros.
In incredible fashion too. That was yeah, that probably was the best ball game I've ever called.
Those are the all-time season records, most for a staff in 1 year. Last year the Indians set the mark and the Astros were right there. This year the Astros are on pace for over 1,700.
Are you serious?
Yes.
1,700?
1,700. Over.
My gosh. That's explosive.
It's remarkable, and it's somehow not surprising based on what's happened in baseball lately as Charlie gets another one. He makes Evan Longoria look bad there on the 0-2 pitch for strikeout number 6. Julia, do you have an injury update on one of the many injured players?
I do. Brian McCann, someone we haven't been talking a lot about lately because he has been on the DL for some time, had that procedure done on his knee, caught his first bullpen today. And who was he catching? Justin Verlander. AJ said it was like getting old brothers back together again. That's the most excited he's seen Verlander to throw a bullpen because he knew Brian McCann would be on the other end of it. I asked McCann how it went. He said it was great. He feels great. The knee's good. It's just a matter of getting those reps in, getting in that squat position, making sure it's in shape, and then he'll be off to a rehab assignment.
They're almost like brothers. I mean, they were born on the same day, 1 year apart.
It's pretty tight.
February 20th. Here's Brandon Crawford fouling one back. Charlie with a couple of strikeouts this inning, up to 6 in the game. McCann born in '84, Verlander born in '83, in case you're wondering who would be the older brother in that matchup.
I thought Gaddis and McCann were brothers. Seems a more logical matchup.
They did the Step Brothers bobblehead with those two.
That was a good one.
That was outstanding. One of the many quality bobbleheads we have seen the Astros produce. They do those specialty bobbleheads in limited quantities, and those are some of the most popular items you'll find ever. People wait in lines to get in there. Well, a special bobblehead coming up in the next homestand, a Carlos Beltran bobblehead. There's a ball hit well to right field, and Crawford has a home run. Brandon Crawford hits his 11th of the season, and that's the first run of this game. Giants lead 1-0.
Wasn't a terrible pitch, but didn't get it down enough. That fourth pitch was the one he used to strike, get a swing and miss from Crawford. This one stays just a little bit above it, and Crawford pulls the hands in to get the barrel to it in order to yank it down that right field line. And with that low line drive and that trajectory is a wind cutter that gets into the very first row.
Crawford snaps it 0 for 13 with that home run, and now the next batter, Austin Slater, sends a fly ball to right field. But in this low-scoring game, the Giants strike first blood on the home run by Brandon Crawford. Presented by Occidental Petroleum. The best fireworks show in town will be synced to 70s and disco theme music after the game this Friday night. Visit astros.com/Friday nights for tickets. Seattle Mariners in town for a 4-game series. That'll start on Thursday as Josh Reddick takes a called strike. Astros down 1-0 as we head into the 7th inning. Both pitchers have been outstanding. Derek Rodriguez has retired. The last 10 batters he has faced. This is inside to Reddick. It's 1-1. Seattle's playing extra innings tonight in Texas. And they lead the Rangers 4-3 in the 12th. Alex Cintron, the first base coach, makes that play.
Good form from the ex-utility player. He played a lot of baseball up here, being in the National League West with the Arizona Diamondbacks.
That's where the Giants just came from. Their series in Arizona. Reddick grounds one to second for out number 1.
No Player Does More is presented by HEB. Old friend Hunter Pence reached 300 hits in 257 games with the Astros, fastest in franchise history. He is on the bench for Bruce Bochy and the San Francisco Giants. Had a lot of success in that Astros uniform before moving on. Went to Philadelphia, San Francisco now. Had a chance to see him behind the cage. It's good to catch up with him. And speaking of fewest games at 300, Yuli trying to get on that list, sitting at 299 through 267 games.
Trying to match Terry Poole and Cesar Cedeno. It's good company.
Very good.
Altuve a little bit quicker to 300. One the count to Yuli, who was grounded out and flied out. Yuli doesn't like that call by Quinn Wolcott. It's 1-2. We'll get an update after Yuli bats from Julia on Jose Altuve, who's one of the other Astros who headed back to Houston, mending an injury. Upstairs, it's 2-2. Gave the update on George Springer. He's on the DL, but it could have been worse. Hopefully we'll see George back on the next road trip. Going on the 10-day DL today. Two pitch into center field. In comes Duggar. And he is called off by Hernandez, who puts it away for out number 2. Julie, what's the update on Altuve?
If you remember, Jose Altuve was on this road trip, and there was still some hope he would play in this San Francisco series, but a little bit of a setback for him after he tried to run. They sent him back to Houston just to check things out with the team doctors. But the news is good from the team doctors. They like the way it's healing. They will start running him in a couple of days, and then they'll begin to initiate the baseball stuff. But it was good news. They like where he's at. It was a good checkpoint for him, and we'll see him when the team gets back to Houston. It's a long list right there.
It really is.
It's a good lineup.
Ball on one hop, hit by Marwin and gloved by Slater, who runs to the bag for the final out of the inning. So another 1-2-3 inning for Derek Rodriguez, who was retired 13 in a row. 7th inning stretch time here at AT&T Park with the Giants leading 1-0. We'll send it to Kevin Eschenfelder and Mike Stanton in our Rooms to Go lounge.
Who am I? Father Time, short stint, don't run on me. If you know who that Astro is, make sure you tweet it at ATT Sportsnet SW, and make sure you stay tuned later in this ball game, and we will reveal to you if you are right or wrong.
We head to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Joe Panik will lead things off. Panik with a double his last time up. He has one of 3 Giants hits and one of 2 extra base hits. The difference in this game last inning, a 2-out, 2-strike home run by Brandon Crawford. His 11th on the season, giving the Giants this 1-0 lead. This ball sent into left field where Tony Kemp is there, and there's 1 out in the bottom of the 7th inning. Charlie has been very good, but unfortunately Derek Rodriguez has been a little bit better tonight. There's bullpen action going for the Giants. Rodriguez threw a lot of pitches in his last start. Still in relatively good shape tonight with his pitch count. We'll see if his night is over, but Reyes Maranta is warming up for the Giants. Derek has thrown 94 pitches tonight, so it could be his last inning, the 7th, and The Astros won't be too unhappy about that as he's retired 13 in a row.
Yeah, he's done a great job of keeping him off balance. We talked about the barrel rate early on against Rodriguez, and he's lived up to that.
Called strike, it's 1-1. Rodriguez coming off a 7-inning, 3-hit, 1-run game in San Diego. Tonight, 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs against the defending world champions. Charlie ahead of the count, 1-2 on Steven Duggar. Looks like a guy whose night is over.
It's Hunter Pence on the right. Hunter Pence was a fun teammate. There was never a dull moment with that man around, and he took the most swings of anybody I've ever played with.
Swing and a miss. Duggar goes down swinging for out number 2.
Watch the Astros your way by downloading the AT&T Sportsnet app from iTunes or Google Play, or visit AT&TSportsnet.com to stream on your computer. Log in with your cable account and you're all set. Available for those with AT&T Sportsnet in their TV subscription. Blackouts and territorial restrictions do apply.
Everything about Hunter is a little unorthodox.
Yep.
Nobody took more hacks than him, huh?
No, in between ABs, whether he hit a home run or struck out, he was going to go back up in the tunnel and just swing, just hacking away. You just hear this thunder in the tunnel every time. It was amazing. Then he'd come right back out, sweating bullets, and have a great AB.
Well, he's got a helmet and a bat, but he's not in the on-deck circle to hit for the pitcher, Rodriguez. Jorge Hernandez bats with 2 outs and the base is empty. Alan Hansen is in the on-deck circle. But Hunter's ready just in case Bruce Bochy changes his mind.
Well, and you know what? Sometimes we talk about managers using matchups with their bullpen. They can do the same thing with their hitters, especially in these National League games. If Gorky's gets himself into second or third, maybe they put Hunter Pence in. Or if there's nobody on, then maybe you let Hansen go up there and hit and try and get on base. So there's different situations for different guys.
1-2 pitch misses inside. It's 2-2. Charlie with 7 strikeouts tonight, and his pitch count has been really good. A little bloop hit by Evan Longoria on an 0-2 pitch in the 4th caused that inning to increase to a 20-pitch inning. But other than that, he has been on point. Ooh, that's close.
Martin, not a bad pitch.
Martin wanted that one. 3-2.
Yeah, Martin recognizes the situation, the pitch count, and he wants to get Charlie through this thing. Almost got that call.
Hernandez is lined to third and walked. Fouls this one away. Charlie's up to 96 pitches, and he will be due a 4th in the 8th. Charlie's totals usually end up right around 100, so this very well could be his final inning. No bullpen action going right now, though. Called third strike. He gets Hernandez to end the inning. A couple of strikeouts in the 7th and a 1-2-3 inning. We head to the 8th. Giants leading 1-0.
Mercedes-Benz. Houston defeats Oakland 5-4 in the 10th. Carlos Correa in that 10th inning, tying things up with his 14th home run of the season. And then it was Jed Lowry getting a big base hit going the other way, putting the Astros ahead. Trying to get some of that good come from behind mojo going for the Astros as they start here in the top of the 8th inning against a new pitcher.
Yeah, Reyes Moranta taking over for the Giants. The 25-year-old right-hander will feature a fastball, slider, curveball. Throw that slider a lot more to right-hand hitters like Tyler White. Slider comes in there at 83. The fastball is firm. It's 96.8. A couple of hard throwers out of their bullpen, Moranta and Ray Black, who throws on average 1 mile an hour faster than 96.8 average. Tyler pops one high in the air on the infield. Joe Panic puts it away for out number 1. So the last base runner for the Astros was all the way back in the 3rd inning with 2 outs. Tony Kemp doubled to right field. Derek Rodriguez was outstanding tonight. He leaves having retired 13 in a row. And Derek Fisher is going to get a chance to pinch hit here. Fisher just called up from AAA Fresno with George Springer going on the DL, and he will pinch hit for Martin Maldonado. Fisher made the opening day roster for the Astros. Played in 36 games. Julia?
Fisher had a great attitude coming into today. Obviously very excited to be with this club, but he also reflected on what being sent down to AAA did for him. He was able to relax a little bit. AJ said that as well. Just became a very balanced player, and they have a lot of fun down there. He also spoke of the winning culture that goes throughout the Astros organization. That team down there loves to win, or I should say, where are we? They're pretty close to here, aren't they? In Fresno. But they love to win, and they're putting up some great at bats at that level, so that way they can get their work in and feel good when they come up to the big league level.
Down to the count here, 0-2, and he'll take a called 3rd strike as he goes down looking on 3 pitches. Eric Fisher retired for out number 2. I'll bring up Jake Marisnick. Jake is struck out and flied out to center field. Astros are going to try and find a way to replace guys like Correa. Hopefully we'll see him back soon. Jose Altuve, George Springer. No Evan Gattis in National League games. Ryan McCann. Roberto Osuna warming up in the Astros bullpen in this 1-0 contest. Swing and a miss. It's 1-1. Astros have not had much going offensively. Only 1 runner to second base. That was a double by Kemp. Moranta ahead of the count, 1-2. There's only 3 National League relievers that have posted a lower batting average against than Reyes Moranta, who's on the hill now for the Giants. Josh Hader, Sean Doolittle, and Sir Anthony Dominguez. Moranta 4th. Hitters have come in batting 143 against this Giants right-hander. Inside almost gets Jake. Not sure how that missed him. It's 3-2.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive how it didn't get him. Striding out there, leans into it. Didn't find him.
We'll see if Jake can find a pitch to his liking to drive. Astros have just 4 outs to work with in this game. Instead, it's way outside, ball 4. Jake draws a 2-out walk.
2019 season tickets are on sale now. Fans who purchase season tickets now enjoy immediate benefits, including guaranteed 2018 postseason priority access. For more information, visit astros.com/season tickets or call 1-877-9-ASTROS.
Well, the Astros will call on another pinch hitter here. Gaddis hitting for Charlie Morton. Evan Gaddis had a pinch hit appearance in yesterday's game as he pinch hit for J.D. Davis in the 9th inning against Kenley Jansen. They're meeting on the mound right now. Charlie Morton's night is over. Charlie ends up with 7 innings of 3-hit, 1-run baseball. The only blemish against Charlie, that solo home run by Brandon Crawford. Right now, Charlie's on the losing end of a 1-0 game, but see if Evan Gaddis can turn that around. Evan takes the pitch for ball 1. Few Astros have at-bats against Peralta. The only Astro with a base hit against him on the active roster is Alex Bregman. Gaddis has never faced him.
Good idea to keep an eye on Jake. He's always a threat when he's over there at first base. He might give Evan a couple of pitches to try and drive a gap here.
Towards third, Longoria is there and retires Gaddis for the final out of the inning. A walk and 1 man left on base. We head to the bottom of the 8th, still 1-0. You by Toyota. Let's go places. And by Arctic. Overbuilt, not overpriced. Bottom half of the 8th inning, Giants lead the Astros 1-0. Taking over for Houston will be Roberto Osuna, making his Astros debut.
Been the closer for the Toronto Blue Jays the last couple of years before arriving on that suspended list, now off that list with the Houston Astros.
Osuna completed his 75-game suspension. Was activated for the game yesterday. Still awaiting trial for alleged domestic violence as He served a 75-game suspension for the MLB domestic violence policy. And the batter Alan Henson sends one into right field. Putting it away is Josh Reddick for out number 1.
Just like we promised earlier in the game, it's time for the Miller Lite Hold True moment. That Hold True moment was Charlie Morton pitching extremely well, only made one mistake, but going 7 innings strong, throwing 97 pitches. We saw an electric fastball out of that right arm of Charlie Morton. 8 strikeouts, 3 walks, and the one run he did give up on was on that Brandon Crawford home run, but a phenomenal outing from Charlie Morton, and yet another pitcher for the Houston Astros going out with a great start and not getting any run support.
Andrew McCutchen takes a called strike. Not much of a scoring threat for either side in this game. 3 hits apiece. McCutchen 0 for 2 with a walk. Grounds one towards the hole. Backhanded Bregman off balance throw. McCutchen is out. Really nice play by Alex Bregman for out number 2.
He extended himself so far to his right that he couldn't get much on that throw, but threw a great long hop over to Tyler White, who stretched out and made sure he made the catch. That was nicely done on both ends. McCutchen getting around a slider from Osuna, but on the backhand going away. Alex really didn't have a chance to set his body in good enough position to get that much strength on the throw, but showing great athleticism. And credit Tyler White for getting out there to get that ball before McCutchen hit the bag.
Here's Buster Posey. He swings at the first pitch and pops one into right field. Josh Reddick is there and puts it away. A 1-2-3 inning for Roberto Osuna in his Astros debut.
Tonight's Chevy Stropole. Astros with the same record right now as they had last year at this time. We asked how they're going to finish. More wins than 2017, which was 101. So you think they're going to have more than 101 wins? I like it.
They have matched the best start during that stretch, matching last year's record, and now we head to the 9th. They're going to need a rally to improve their record in this game because Will Smith is coming on in the 9th in a 1-0 contest.
Yeah, they've got to get something going here against the left-hander and Will Smith. 36 games this season. He has 7 saves and 8 opportunities. The ERA, pretty impressive, 1.27. That whip even better, well under 1. He missed all of 2017 with that Tommy John surgery. He is averaging 92.6 miles an hour on his fastball. Has a changeup, curveball, and a slider. That would be the curveball right there at 76 miles an hour.
Max Stassi is leading things off for the Astros. Stassi came on as part of a switch in the last inning. Derek Fisher pinch hit for Martin Maldonado. Stassi batting in the 1 spot as Tony Kemp was taken out of the game, and Fisher stayed in to play left field.
Pretty good move by A.J. Hinch, getting the right-handed hitting Max Stassi in this ball game to lead off in Tony Kemp's spot, who is a left-handed hitter.
And he pops one up. Second baseman Panic is there on the 2-0 pitch. Stassi is retired for out number 1.
Time to name that Astro, brought to you by Nissan. Gave you a couple of clues. Father Time, short stint, don't run on me. And who is this Astro? Pudge, of course. On the night his son is going out pitching a pretty good game against the Houston Astros. He's the father of the starting pitcher for the San Francisco Giants tonight. Played in 2009, was my teammate here with the Houston Astros. And the best caught stealing percentage of all time.
Couldn't get AJ. Will Smith has a very high percentage of first pitch strikes. See if Bregman goes for an ambush here. Gets a breaking ball down low. He's in the zone at the highest percentage of any of the bullpen arms for the Giants. His first pitch strike percentage is the highest, and his chase percentage is the highest. We've got a guy at the plate that rarely chases. Alex knows right now the offense hasn't had much going. And he won't chase there. It's 2-0.
Trying to get ahead with the off speed. It's seen a 2-0 count if Will Smith will go out there and challenge him. On the season, Alex with 22 home runs. And a ton of extra base hits. There are some big gaps here at AT&T Park in San Francisco.
On the corner is 2-1.
Perfect pitch because Alex is a guy who's looking to turn and elevate. What I mean by turn is he wants to hit that baseball to the pull side in the air and try and elevate a baseball out of here. And that's a tough pitch to do it on, but I also give him credit for staying disciplined with his game plan.
Slice foul over the Astros bullpen and into the crowd. That Astros bullpen has Colin McHugh warming up just in case. McHugh has the second lowest ERA of all relievers in the American League to Blake Trinan. The lowest National League reliever ERA belongs to the guy on the mound now for the Giants, Will Smith. He's at 1.27. Down low, 3-2. Smith normally works ahead of the count, but he fell behind Bregman 2-0, and now the count's full.
Last 3 pitches have been fastballs too, so you would imagine that if Alex gets a fastball right here, he should have it timed up pretty good.
Down and in, ball 4. Bregman draws a walk. The tying run on board for the Astros in the 9th inning with 1 out.
And that's the interesting thing recently for me and Alex Bregman in this lineup with some of those injuries, namely Correa, Altuve. Those are guys that are usually hitting behind Alex Bregman, so that gives him a little bit more of an opportunity to get pitches in a 3-2 count to go out there and hit. I think right now he might be that guy in that lineup that the Giants are saying we do not want him to beat us, and that might be why he didn't get that fastball in a 3-2 count. Put the pressure on Josh Reddick.
Reddick has really hit well this year against lefties, a .300 batting average, and owns 6 of his 12 home runs against left-hand pitchers. Josh slugging .578 this year against lefties compared to .348 against righties. A lot of sliders from Smith, more than the fastball when he faces left-hand hitters. Josh takes the strike with the fastball. It's 0-1. Reddick, who spent most of his time playing across the bay with the Oakland A's at the big league level, is 0 for 3 tonight. He is struck out, popped up, and grounded out. There's that slider that we mentioned Will likes to lefties. It's 0-2. Into center field, playable. Duggar is there, and he puts it away. Astros down to their final out in this 1-0 game. Yuli Gurriel will bat. Yuli has faced Will Smith before. He is 0 for 1. Tonight, Yuli has grounded out and flied out to left twice.
See if Yuli can force Will Smith into a fastball count.
Brandon Crawford solo home run with 2 outs in the 6th inning, the only run in this game.
Giants pitchers have paid a great deal of attention to runners at first base. Derek Rodriguez was picking over on Marwin quite a bit when he got on in the 2nd inning with his base hit. Here we go.
Yuli not chasing. It's 2-0. And a little meeting at the mound with Buster Posey and Will Smith.
Yeah, it might be conversation saying the off speed isn't working too well for you. What are you feeling? How do we get that pitch back? Because those are good pitches for Will Smith to have, but it's forced him into another fastball count. Is he going to be able to locate it on that outside corner to stay away from some of the power of Yuli?
Smith in 35 and a 3rd innings coming into tonight had not allowed a home run. Earlier on this road trip, Zach Duke had not allowed a home run on the season and allowed one in his first outing with the Mariners. 3-0.
Is it going to be a green light?
Oh yeah.
I like it. Yuli's just missed a couple of pitches.
Marwin's on deck. He had a couple of home runs right-handed in that Seattle series. His first 2 of the year. Ball 4. The Astros have the tying and go-ahead runs on with walks.
It's been an interesting trip for Marwin Gonzalez, right-handed. He's got a couple of home runs. Wade LeBlanc wearing this one. Will eventually end up hitting another one. This one a little bit further and deeper into the afternoon there in Safeco Field into the Mariners bullpen. So that right-handed swing has been feeling good recently. A good man to have up right now. And as much as you would like to see a home run right here, the mentality as a hitter has got to be right back up the middle. Find a gap. You don't want to get too big and miss an opportunity of just getting a base hit to at least tie this game and extend it.
Marwin's first 2 home runs of the year as a right-hand hitter, coming in back-to-back at bats against Wade LeBlanc. And now Sam Dyson starts to warm up. He's going to have to try and loosen in a hurry. Marwin hits one deep to left field. Back goes Hernandez, looking up, good! The Astros down to their last out. Hit a 3-run home run. Marwin Gonzalez giving the Astros a 3-1 lead on the first home run allowed by Will Smith this season. Wow!
Mar winning.
Absolutely nothing offensively all game long until that one swing of the bat by Marwin.
Just takes one. You're not going to get a lot of hits. When you get the big one, make it count, and Marwin earned that home.
Tyler McHugh is no longer warming up. Instead, it's the closer, Hector Rondon, warming up. Here's Tyler White. White takes a pitch for a ball. Marwin Gonzalez had no home runs right-handed on the season before this road trip, and now he has 3. There's a called strike to White. It's 1-1. Marwin hit a home run in Dodger Stadium, so he has 4 home runs on this road trip and has 4 in his last 5 games. Here's a ground ball to short. White is thrown out for the final out of the inning, but it was Marwin with the biggest hit of the night.
A lot of injuries affecting this clubhouse, a lot of action in that clubhouse, but when they need a big swing, they have gone to Marwin in the past, and he has come alive here of late, having himself a great road trip. The right-handed swing has been worked on, and it has been working beautifully. Coming up big in the clutch here in the Bay Area, putting the Astros up 3-1 here late.
In the top half of the 9th inning, the Astros were down to their final out, and Marwin giving the Astros a 3-1 lead, and now they will turn it over to Hector Rondon.
Hector Rondon on to close it out for the Houston Astros. 42 games. He does have 11 saves in 14 opportunities. He has been excellent of late, racking up 49 strikeouts in 39 2/3 innings with that power fastball, power slider, and changeup.
He will face the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the San Francisco Giants. Evan Longoria 1 for 3 today. Evan has been hot his last 9 games. He is 11 for 26 during that stretch. But Rondon quickly ahead 0-2. The Astros did not have a hit since the 3rd inning until the Marwin Gonzalez home run. Will Smith, who does not normally walk many batters, walked 2 in that inning. and then had a string of 55 innings without allowing a home run, going back to 2016 snapped when Marwin hit that home run. I mentioned Smith missed last year with Tommy John surgery. 1-2 pitch, grounded just foul on the first base side. Longoria, Brandon Crawford, Austin Slater. Giants fans were standing throughout AT&T Park in that top half of the ninth, looking for that final out that never came with the lead. Rondon misses. 2-2. Charlie Morton, 7 innings of 3-hit, 1-run baseball. Roberto Osuna, a 1-2-3-8, and now Rondon on in the ninth. Swing and a miss. Longoria goes down swinging. Rondon picks up a strikeout. 1 out in the ninth.
Checking out Marwin Gonzalez's 3rd home run from the right side in this road trip for him. Couldn't have come in a bigger spot. 2 outs, 2 runners on. Destroys that pitch to left. But he did a good job of being calm and patient at the plate. Got a good pitch to pick on and absolutely unloaded on it. Ball driven deep into those seats. We talked about it being tough to drive the ball out of here, but at 103 miles an hour off the bat, estimated 371.
Hugs for homers has taken a turn as Tony Kemp's doing a lot of the lifting now.
Pays off. He hit a home run the other day.
Here's Brandon Crawford. Starting to work on those upper body muscles. Crawford takes a called strike. 1-1 to count.
With that home run, the last 34 runs that the Astros have scored, 22 of them have come in on the home run.
Rondon dotting up that pitch. It's 1-2. Rondon spending most of his time with the Chicago Cubs. So he's faced these hitters before. Brandon Crawford 2 for 4 against him. Rondon tried to catch that edge again, a little bit off. It's 2-2.
Yeah, that's that changeup or maybe a little bit of a split that he throws at 90 to 92 miles an hour, just taking enough off that fastball to hopefully get a swing out in front. But it's a nice little wrinkle just to change the eyes. And then you beat him with the fastball at 98, and that's a swing you get. You can speed up the eyes, you can speed up the hands, but that little bit of a changeup, even losing 6 to 7 miles an hour on that changeup, messes with the hitter's timing a little bit. Those are defensive swings for sure. 97, 98 miles an hour. And it's obvious where the plan is against Brandon Crawford. Stay away.
Not a bad idea, especially after his last at bat.
Yep.
Ground ball against the shift, and that's a base hit. Crawford just going the other way. He's now been on base 3 times in a row, a walk, a home run, and now a 1-out single. That'll bring the tying run to the plate in the bottom half of the ninth. Rondon picked up an impressive save in the first game of the Dodgers series, preserving a 2-1 win. With Justin Verlander, his 199th career victory. Now facing Austin Slater with 1 on and 1 out. Slater takes a strike. Rondon in that game on Friday in LA retired Manny Machado, Justin Turner, Yasmani Grandal, and Cody Bellinger, all 4 batters he faced, to preserve a 1-run win. Slater, 25-year-old out of Stanford, has not faced Rondon before. Two and 1. Slater fouls one back. The count's 2-2. He's 0 for 3 tonight. A couple of flyouts, and he grounded into a fielder's choice. Called third strike. Rondon freezes him for the second out of the inning.
Looked like Slater was gearing up for nasty and didn't get it. See, Stassi wants that down and away. It backs up and stays in the upper portion of the zone. Slater was hoping that would stay up out of the zone and get the ball called, but catches a large portion of that strike zone at the top half.
Now he'll face Joe Panik, who is 1 for 3 with a double. Panik sends one to left field. Derek Fisher is there, and the Astros have won this game 3-1 on Marwin Gonzalez's 3-run home run with 2 outs in the top half of the 9th inning. Hector Rondon comes on for the save. He has been scoreless in all 22 of his road games this year, and the Astros are now 5-2 on this 8-game road trip. A 3-1 win down to their final out in the 9th inning. We will have more from San Francisco, including the post-game show coming up right around the corner.